Hi, everyone. Hi. So, welcome back to the Better Life Show. I'm Coretta Montague Smith, and today is Better Life Saturday. On Saturday is where I share the stories, the lessons, and experiences that shape my entrepreneurial journey. Here's a question I get asked at all the time. Um, from others in the finance industry. Coretta, how did you get into life insurance? And honestly, the answer might surprise you because I didn't choose life insurance. Life insurance chose me. And today, I'm going to tell you exactly how that happened. So, when I first started learning about life insurance, I already knew about whole life insurance. I knew I had can get cash value of whole life insurance. It would never expire. And as long as you pay it, it will stay active. And it also, of course, had a death benefit. But honestly, I wasn't really focused on the death benefit. I wanted their cash value. I was more interested in the cash value. So, as a mom, I wanted something better for myself and my children than just a regular savings account because I always had like a PNC account, savings account for my son, my firstborn, since he was actually born, you know. Um, but with these savings accounts, it grows little to nothing in interest. These interests be like 0.01%. So I wanted money that could actually grow over time while still protecting my family. Like most people, I went to what I call Google University. I started searching for whole life insurance policies because that's what I wanted. And, I get what I want. But every company I came in contact with, um, they were just trying to sell me a term policy instead, nothing about whole life. So the reason I really wasn't interested in a term policy was because a personal experience I encountered with my mother. Years earlier, I had purchased a term policy for my mom through AARP, the usual retirement company that we advertising a lot. And I was the owner of the policy. I was paying for the policy. Every 5 years, the policy renewed without any problems. But when it came time for the third renewal, because I had it in intervals of 5 years, the insurance company told us she was no longer insurable. I did not understand why. After paying premiums for 15 years, the coverage just simply ended. I thought I could just keep renewing it and she would have insurance. Now, that experience right there changed everything for me, changed everything about term. So that's why I didn't even want to get a term policy anymore. I told myself I never wanted to be in that situation again. So eventually I found a whole life policy through Gerber. It wasn't a huge policy, it was about $25,000, but I was excited because it could build cash value. It was a whole life insurance policy. And I could add my son on until he turned 18. He was just like one at the time. So I thought I finally found that best option available. I had no idea there was something even better. So after purchasing the Gerber policy, they mailed me information to insure my spouse too. They got all my information. Now they're trying to promote add your spouse on. So when I got it in the mail, I walked over to my husband. He was in the kitchen, excited talking about this new policy. They just sent my new policy, and that's when he asked me a question I'll never forget. He said, did you know There are life insurance policies that wealthy people use to borrow against, fund businesses, build wealth, and pay off debt. I looked at him and said, no, I never heard of that. He told me he didn't remember what the policy was called, but he remembered older businessmen talking about it when he was growing up, and he knew his great grandparents had something like it. Then he said, Coretta, you should go and research it. Of course, I'm going to research it because I never heard of nothing like that before. Of course, I'm going to go research it, right? So that conversation changed the direction of my life. So in 2021, I went right back to Google University, Google and search, what life insurance policy do wealthy people use? I put it right in Google. Suddenly, my screen filled with terms I never really heard about before. I started seeing index universal life. I seen cash values, cash accumulation. I seen tax advantage strategies. I seen so many terms, permanent life, infinite banking. I seen so many terms that I never even heard about before. And all I remember was feeling was just angry. Angry that I didn't know this information. Why had no one ever explained these products or concepts to me? Why was I only being shown term life insurance? Why every time I try to get a whole life insurance policy, it was an issue? I didn't want to be in the dark anymore. I wanted answers. So instead of me continue to search online, I made one of the biggest decisions of my life. Since I don't know who will give me genuine information about these products, about these life insurance products, I decided that I'm going to learn about them on my own. And then that's when I passed my licensing exam and became a licensed life and health insurance agent. The first company I joined, I remember, was PHP. During a Zoom presentation, one of their agents showed me an actual illustration on how an index universal life policy worked. I was shocked. All these years, I thought life insurance is only for when a person dies, to have funds for the funeral, to bury the person. Nobody never told me it could potentially help fund a business, put a down payment on a home. And I bought my first home when I was 18. So I really wish I was always advanced. I really wish I'd known this about back then. I didn't know that they could provide emergency cash, supplement retirement, create financial flexibility while you're still alive, have so many tax advantages where you can take a loan out on yourself and don't have to pay it back, become your own bank. That presentation shared everything that I thought about life insurance. I was excited to learn more, but I quickly realized something. The first training that I actually received while I was with the company, all they wanted me to do was recruit. Every time a trainer asked if I had questions, my questions always was about products. I kept saying I'm not recruiting anyone until I actually know what I'm offering. I'm not going to bring someone in the company that I don't even know nothing about. I'm new. So all my scheduled meetings was, did you make a list of all the family and friends we can call and contact. I'm not contacting anybody until I know about these products. I'm not selling nobody anything. I'm not here for just to be selling. So nevertheless, I told myself, if the next meeting doesn't start with a product education or product knowledge, I'm leaving. And that is exactly what happened. Who you know wanna join PHP? You know what? I don't got time for this. So 2 days later, I was on it because, like I said, I'm about education. I want to know about these products, how this stuff work, because my eyes is open now. So 2 days later, I joined World Financial Group. That decision completely changed my education experience. For the first time, I found mentors who truly understood index universal life and annuities, and also taught me about term policies that includes living benefits. I didn't even know term policies have living benefits. I was learning so much. So one seasoned mentor explained something I'll never forget. He said, an IUL isn't just about protecting your family after death. It's a tool that can help families build wealth, create financial freedom, and leave a legacy. How do you leave a legacy? The only way how you're able to leave a legacy if you know about this information. You have to be able to pass it on to your children, the education, the knowledge that you know, so they can pass it on to their children. If you don't know about these strategies or concepts, there's no way that you're going to be able to leave a legacy or build wealth. That's just point blank, period. And these policies, these products have been around for centuries. Centuries. So I wanted to learn more. I attended webinars daily. I read books. Still got a long list of books on my PDF format on my computer, still reading. I studied policy illustration. I asked questions to my upline of people who've been in the insurance industry for over decades. I learned about tax advantages. I learned about cash value accumulation. I learned about how money grows or be credited to your account from the stock market. Your money not in the stock market, but it's mirroring the stock market. I learned about living benefits for chronic, critical, terminal illnesses, and for long-term care. I learned about retirement income, business strategies, the real estate agent, I'm a real estate broker, investing in properties, using your own money as your own, being your own bank. I learned about college funding, children financial start policies, and the fact that the cash value is protected from market losses while still having growth potential completely blew my mind, meaning you are not never losing any money in your account. It's only growing. I couldn't believe one financial product can do all of that. So once I truly understood how an IUL worked, I knew I wanted my own family to benefit from it. I replaced my Gerber policy with an IUL. They want to know why you canceling your policy. So I also asked the agent why this product had never been offered to me when, I was signing up. And the answer was simple. They didn't sell it. So that confirmed everything that I had been feeling. You can only learn about these products from companies who actually offer them and for people who know about them. Then after that, it really like pissed me off because I could have found out about this policy, these types way earlier. But anyway, I started building my family's financial foundation because I'm an insurance agent now. So I know how to structure these policies now. So my son received his first IUL in 2021 when he was 3 years old. I removed all my money out of his account from his PNC savings into an IUL. My daughter received hers just 2 weeks after she was born. As soon as I got the Social Security number, she got a policy started. Now today, both my children have 2 IUL policies, using it for 2 different things. My husband has 2. I have to. We also have a term policy. We're using it while we still living in case something happened, you know. So watching the cash value grow over time gives me peace of mind because I know we're building more than just a death benefit. The illustration for my son, by the time he's 18, he should have over $100,000 just being on the schedule that I have it, not putting in more money. So that's life changing. He's 18 years old with $100,000 in his account that he can use for whatever he wants. But I'm gonna teach him how to use it. So we're building opportunities. We're building financial legacy. We're building a lot. It's about having options. That's what it's about, having options, not having to worry about your credit report all the time to get a loan. You can loan from yourself, right? So this became a very passionate topic for me, especially because I'm late in the game learning about it. You know, I wasn't taught this growing up because if I knew now what I know then, I wouldn't be buying every time I got money or tax money. I wouldn't be buying cars while I was growing up. While I was a teen, I would have been invested. I would have had a policy open. You know, um, I remember just being very angry about learning this stuff on my own without being introduced to it. Right. So, whew, that's my story. I'm excited to be able to share my story with you. Um, So let me just wrap this up because I'm still like a little emotional about it. Let me wrap this up. So if my story resonated with you, if you ever felt like there's more to life insurance than what you've been told, I want to invite you to do what I did. I didn't figure all this out on my own. Someone had to show me what was possible, and now I want to do that for you. So if you're curious about NX Universal Life Insurance, how to use your term policy or any other financial strategy that could help you build wealth and protect your family, I've created a free pre-recorded financial literacy class that covers these different strategies, and it's completely free. So if you want this webinar or access to this webinar, comment the word class below or send me a message, direct message. All you would have to do is just register to view my webinar, and that link will be sent to you instantly. I'm not going to just be throwing out my link, all the hard work that I put in this webinar. I'm not going to just be throwing the link out there without you registering, right? Because one conversation changed my life, it might change yours as well. So remember, every better life starts with one better decision. And thank you for watching, listening to my story. I'll see you next time on the Better Life Show. Bye.